In this video, I'm going to show you how to avoid spacing problems when using guidelines. In order to avoid spacing problems, it's important to understand how guidelines work. And there's a lot more to them than you might at first think. This is particularly important if you're using a mod like the Perfect Road Spacing mod. The first thing to understand is that the guidelines do not lock your mouse into place when you move over an intersection. Let's look at an example. We want to draw a road using this guideline. But when you move your mouse over the connection, it doesn't lock into place. So it's very easy to think that you're on the intersection when in actual fact you're not. There are two other misleading indicators. The first is the blue circle, which gives a flash when you move over a guideline. But it doesn't indicate that you're actually in the correct place, since it flashes whenever you move over any guideline. The other misleading indicator is when you use a guideline, if you're correctly over the guideline, it'll turn green. The problem is that if you start in the wrong place, but continue along the guideline, eventually it'll turn green. What this is indicating is that your current mouse position is correctly on the guideline. Let's look at the measurements for this road. The distance between the two parallel roads should be either 440 or 441 simoleons. At this end, it's 441. That's correct. But at the other end, it's actually 437. That could lead to spacing problems. There are two ways to ensure that you get correct spacing using guidelines. The first method is to use the green indicator. If you're in the correct position, when you start to draw the road, the guideline should immediately turn green. If it doesn't turn green immediately, you're not in the right place. If the cursor's positioned correctly on the guideline, it'll instantly turn green. The second way to ensure that you're perfectly aligned with a grid line is to use the squared road tool. The squared road tool will lock into place with grid lines. It's a snap to. So you can be certain that you're always going to have exactly the correct spacing of either 440 or 441 simoleons. And that was a space-saving 60-second tip.